trouble trying to get online, get my mic going. For some reason, I was just having an issue. So I appreciate everybody' patience dealing with me. You know what I'm saying? But we about to get into it. What are your responsibilities? And this in reference to what's going on with Silicon Valley. You know what I'm saying? Also, what's going on, with John Moran as well. You know, because you got to look at it like this, right? When somebody is offering you a service, when someone, you pay for the convenience, you pay to go see somebody perform. You know what I mean? So, what are your responsibilities? And that's in reference to, like I said, what's going on with Silicon Valley. We about to get on the Silicon Valley Bank, and then also what's going on with John Morant, for the Memphis Grizzlies. If you're familiar, we're gonna get into it, a little bit tonight. You know, so yeah, we definitely got to touch on it. And my thing is this though: when I think about the Silicon Valley, right? Silicon Valley Bank, and I'm hearing about some other banks as well, that's having issues. Now, I said this in many videos months ago, how we heading into like a economic reset, for the housing market, the stock market, and just, in general. Like I said before, you may not care about the stock market. You may not care about the housing market. But what you do care about when you go to the grocery store and those prices, inflation is extremely high. When you go to the gas station, those prices are extremely high. See, it's all about the essentials, the things that you have to buy, you know what I mean, for you to, survive, for you to get to your destination, you know what I'm saying, get to work. It's a lot of things that goes on with the stock market, the housing market, that affects the, you know, the pretty much the economic system of finances, basically. That's the banking system, the housing market, the stock market. All these things are intertwined together at different points. You know, and because it's like what happens overseas, especially in China or Russia, you'd be surprised how it affects us in America. Because where are we getting most of our oil from? Huh? Who's making most of our products? You know what I'm saying? That we use every day. You know, whether it's clothing material, things you need for your electronic devices. Better yet, your electronic device itself. Where is it made? Do you feel? So it's like you got to really look at these things. You know what I'm saying? Really understand that it will affect you more than what you think. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really think about that and understand what are your responsibilities. Now, that's not just on a personal level. That's also, who's in control of our banking system, huh? Because from my understanding with the Silicon Bank, right, what I seen on the news, CNBC, Fox News, what's being reported, that's out to the public is that a lot of these, executives were making loan decisions on individuals or a group of people where the liability was extremely high, but they was feeling themselves. You know what I'm saying? So they went ahead and proceeded with those type of loans. Now, everything is great when everything is able to get paid, right? Everything is good when it's able to get paid. But what happens when we heading into like an economic reset? You know what I'm saying? Where money is not coming as fluent, you know? When, you know, people are not spending the way they used to, you know? So unfortunately, I don't believe that every bank or a lot of the banks will be affected. But of course, when anytime there's a downside in it, when we talk about the stock market, the housing market, it's a domino effect on many different levels that affects different things. So if we are heading into some type of recession, there will be some, you know, it's going to be some casualties, man. It's going to be some casualties when you talk about investments and loans. You know what I'm hearing about, even with the Bitcoin, crypto. You know they're going through economic reset in so many ways, from what I understand, what I've been following over the internet. So yeah, it's going to cause an effect. And it's like the question is, what are your responsibility in this situation? Do you take out all your money out the bank? You know what I'm saying? Do you stop going to basketball games or paying for concert tickets? I mean, what do you do in this situation? You know what I'm saying? See, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to get you to think a little bit different and move a little bit different in your everyday activity. You see what I'm saying? Because there will be an effect and things will have to change to a degree. So I personally feel, my opinion, you don't want to stretch yourself so thin to where if things happen, you get laid off, or your hours slow down, or they don't need you to work as much. You know, you don't want to put yourself in a financial situation to where, yeah, you may be making decent money, good money, but if you stretching yourself so thin, and when that corporate job say, hey, they don't need you, or they need you to take a pay cut, or you work less hours, you're not already so stretched out financially that you can't maintain. So it's important that you move accordingly out here and you understand your position. So when things happen, you at least have some type of either cushion, savings. But thinking about the banks, from what I hear with Silicon Valley Bank, what happened is that I don't know how they knew, but some of the executives, or a large amount of the executives, found out that they were losing a lot of money. And so they went ahead and started to withdraw a lot of their money out of the bank, which caused, people who were putting deposits in the account, in the bank for their account, they wasn't able to get access to those funds. Now, fast forward till today, this is Friday. Well, yeah, it's pretty much, you could say it's Friday, March 17th, 2023. From what I heard earlier this morning on the news, and I believe the day before, the banks, or at least Silicon Valley Bank, from my understanding, they will do good on the deposits that they receive to pay, everybody to be able to get access to the funds who were not able to. But my point of saying that is this: if the executives knew about the hit on the financial situation, why didn't you tell your banking your customers. You know what I'm saying? But see, you went ahead and took out all the money that you felt that you needed to survive while everybody else got to figure it out. Do you feel? Let me see. Pull something up here. Get more information on it. Because I was looking at this online and I just was like trying to see what's going on there. Let me see if I can pull up some more information on it. Bear with me. Yeah, because let's see, Silicon Valley. I don't want to play a video because I don't want to get no strikes or anything. So just bear with me. See if I can find some information. I'll try to read off a little bit of it. Well, at least the good thing is too, if you're banking in the U.S., you got the FDIC that insures deposits up to 250,000 per bank per borrower, regardless of its account. That's what's that? Regardless of if the accounts are at a small, medium, or large bank. You got the FDIC insures deposits up to 250,000. So that's a good thing. So hopefully, for most folks, you don't have more than 250,000 in the account. For the average individual, I should say. So for the most part, unless you have over 250,000 in your account, at least you'll be able to get that money back. Now, unfortunately, if you accrued any type of overdraft fees or things like that, I don't know. You would have to check with your banking institution and see what your process of getting those fees removed if that's the case. So just something, at least you have that. But I did want to find, there's a few videos on here, but I don't want to touch that. So, oh man, I had one where, let's see, past week. So it looked like Bank of America is actually doing pretty well. Citibank is doing well. I can't find the link. Just a second. Oh yeah, I'll say here. Federal Bank announced Monday's launching a review. Okay, so I do have something. It says the Federal Reserve announced Monday it has launched a review of the supervision and regulation of Silicon Valley Bank following the lender's sudden explosion. U.S. and the U.K. authorities have been working to prevent wider financial chaos after Friday's collapse, the largest failure of a U.S. bank since 2008. Yeah. So President Joe Biden underscored Monday that the U.S. banking system remains safe as okay, all right, they said it's still safe, as he laid out how his administration plans to contain the collapse. So, with that being said, it's showing that, I mean, from what the president is saying, that we do have some type of protection there. So that's a beautiful thing. Just a second. And this is coming from CNN Business. Yeah, CNN Business is where I got this from. CNNbusiness.com. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a link in the community section when I finish this live, so you'll be able to get access to it. You know, so yeah, that was just a little bit from the bank, and I appreciate your patience there because I was just fixing some reason I'm having a little issue with my connection there. I had to go back and fix it. But it's important that you understand where we at, you know. And I have seen a few, podcasters, YouTubers kind of cover this, and of course, it's all over the news, But you just got to understand, with the economy is being affected, since we kind of like on a down spiral financially from a banking standpoint, for Silicon Valley. And I heard about First Bank and even some other bank overseas involving Bitcoin. I didn't pull up, I couldn't find that link. That's the other link I was looking for. I couldn't pull it up, but my point of is saying that is this is that if you've been watching my channel for a while, I've been talking about this. I had the 100 air video that I put out many months ago. Also talked about the economy reset about 5, 6 months ago. And fast forward till today, we basically there, because the housing market is kind of like in a downward spiral. Um, and the stock market, of course, is being affected. So this is the time where you want to be conscious on what you spend it if you can, because I know not everybody's situation, they're able to, have that flexibility. But if you have extra money, and you can still do things that you need to take care of, your essentials is taken care of, I recommend, my opinion, for you to try to stack your little money up. Don't spend it all. You know what I'm saying? I know for me, it's concerts coming up. I'm trying to go to, but any entertainment that get entertained by, money I spend on, just know that for me, and I hope a lot of people do this. If not, if you're not, when it's time for you to entertain yourself and go out and do whatever you love to do, make sure it doesn't affect your bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Like meaning, your bills is taken care of, the essentials in the house is taken care of. You still got money in the bank, so if things happen, you still got a little cushion. So for me personally, I work extremely hard. I work a lot of hours, so I always make sure I got extra money coming in. Overtime, whatever I need to do. I, I'm I've been that type of guy for a while where I make those sacrifices to make sure I got some money saved up somewhere, or some credit cards with high limits, credit limits I can use if it's a situation like that. I just always thought, because I always thought that you always supposed to have a little cushion. My grandma always told me, when even with cash, I don't always put all your money in the bank. Of course you got to put most of it in there, because I mean, if something happened to where you living at and all your money's there, that's gonna be a problem. So, but my grandma, Ella, Lord rest her soul, you know, she always said to me, always keep money on you. You know what I'm saying? Always keep some extra money around, because you never know. The banks could be closed, the ATMs is broken down or not working. You need some gas. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can go there, the card reader doesn't work correctly. So it's good to have cash for backup. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to walk around with, thousands in your pocket if not, unless that you choose to do. But I'm just saying in general, it's nothing wrong using your plastic, your credit cards, But it's good to have that cash around, that, even that Apple Pay, you know what I'm saying? I'm still kind of, I don't know about that. But that digital access sometimes could be an issue for you. So always keep a little bit of cash around because you can see what's going on with Silicon Bank and some other banks. I don't think all of them, your large banks like B of A, Wells Fargo, Citibank, I think they will be okay. Even Capital One, I think those type of banks will be okay because for one, they survived the last recession, which was 2008, and if we heading into one now, I think the bigger banks, of course, will be okay. But the question is, will you be okay? What are your responsibilities? How are you going to handle things? Do you feel? I tell you, every time I go live, something is always acting up. Just a second. I think because I'm recording this late at night, I think YouTube is messing with my channel, man. We gonna stay rocking though. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. With the banks, I'm not here to scare you or anything like that, but just be conscious of your position and where you at in life because things happen and you don't want to be in a position where you can't really do too much because all your money is tied up in the bank. And even though I love using the banks, there's nothing wrong with that. But you just got to understand that where we at and how things are so accessible online, to a degree, there is a lot more, I feel like it's a lot more, it's a bigger chance for someone to try to hack into your account and get access to your funds. So I'm not trying to scare nobody, but try to keep a little extra cash, you know, on the side somewhere, where you can get access to it just in case something happened. You do have funds that you can get access to that's not associated with any bank. Do you feel? I just feel like that's important. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, and it's like, I look at it like this. If you prepared for most situations, or you prepared for where for some reason you can't get to the bank, you at least have some funds you can get access to. I feel like you're in a good position. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. You never know how things go, and you don't want to be just stuck in a situation where you can't get access to none of your funds. You know what I'm saying? For any period of time. I mean, that's for me personally. I can't handle that. You know what I mean? I need to get access to something. You know what I'm saying? But just think about that. Just something to think about. Nothing to scare any folks or make people feel like they need to take all their money out the bank. I don't feel like that's necessary. But if that's how you feel, hey, do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to give you some information, some mental tools that hopefully is something you can use. Do you feel? You know? And it's like, for me personally, you know what I'm saying? I take care of a lot of things in my house, so and that's why I be so concerned because it's like I gotta have access to money, and not only that. I just got to, I just feel like I just have to have multiple streams of income to the best of my ability. So that's why I work. Anybody been following my channel, to my subscribers, I appreciate you. To anybody been watching my videos for a while, I definitely talk about, I work a lot, and it's very important for me to stay active, not just working, but also about my passion. And that's what this comes in at, with the YouTube, doing these videos, because it's another passion that I have. And I just want to thank all the subscribers, because my numbers is going up, subscribers going up. And if you like what I'm kicking, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Hit that like button, you know, hit that subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. You can share it. It's cool. Do you feel? You know? But I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? And that's my whole thing, is it's like, more than anything about the banking system, you just don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. So if you need to, my recommendation, if you feel, like you need to, or just feel more secure, I recommend to maybe spread, if you have over 250,000 in the account. If you're not already done so, definitely split that money up over multiple banks. You know what I'm saying? So you can keep that insurance that the banks offer. That's another way you can do it. I heard about was that the Milwaukee Bucks player, Andrew DeCupo. I'm probably tearing up his name, but from what I have heard, he had split up a lot of his money over multiple banks, in the form of that 250,000, for the fact that he know it has that security on there. So if you're able, I recommend, if that's something that you feel like that's necessary for you, I definitely recommend that. Um, but you just got to move accordingly out here, and you just really understand where we at right now. When we talk about finances, we talk about the banking system, and if we head into some type of recession, you just want to be aware of where you at. And if you feel like you're just spending too much money on frivolous things, it's basically things that's not really worth spending on, but just doing it just because, you might want to slow down on that. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. But yeah, that was my little piece on that. And then the next conversation really was about Ja Morant, for the Memphis Grizzlies. I see he did a interview just recently, and my whole thing is this, it's good that he's really focusing on himself, and that's what I talk big on my channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm very big on self motivation, self care, yourself getting a understanding of yourself, your position, and understanding how you are beneficial to your loved ones, your kids, if you have some, close relatives, close friends, business partners. Come on now. You got to understand you're valuable out here. You feel me? You are valuable. And when I think about Ja Morant, he's starting to say those things. And, I did a couple of videos in the past about him, and really wasn't no shade. I don't do shade. I'm not here to talk reckless about somebody just because. But the interview I seen about him, I just noticed that he was, he said he checked himself into like where he gets some type of therapy to heal himself, or get help so it can help heal himself mentally. And what he was saying, I felt like he was saying some good stuff about him being aware of himself, his surroundings, the people around him, people in that negative time and things like that. So he was really taking some accountability on his actions, and I was happy to see that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you not familiar, you can go back, do your Google search. He was, most recent when he was at the strip club making it rain. You feel me? They say he spent over 50,000. You just seen money everywhere. You know what I mean? The stripper was on him. Hey, you know what I mean? He was doing his thing, but in the middle of all that, he pulled out a gun on live, on IG Live. He pulled out a weapon on IG Live. And this guy is worth, he got, I think, his most recent contract, he got over 200 million endorsements, deals. I mean, he got it going on, and he's only 23. He out here getting it, man. So he felt, for whatever reason, whatever he's going through, I wish him well. You know what I mean? John Moran, I hope you figure it out. But yeah, man. But from what he was saying, that he's really working on himself. He's being accountable, having accountability for his actions. I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? For me being a grown individual out here, that's one of my big things about me and my channel and what I promote is having accountability. You know what I'm saying? See, the thing of it is, before you talk about others, before you make statements about what other individuals should or shouldn't be doing, what are you doing about yourself? What are your responsibilities? And how do you handle that? How do you take care of those responsibilities? Huh? Do you feel? You know? So that's the big thing. You got to really take accountability for your actions. So with the John Morant, I mean, I appreciate him, for him to be such a young man. But, he's been in the league for a little while. He's making good money, got some endorsements still. I know he lost a couple of big endorsements due to his actions. And that's the thing, you know. Like I've been saying, I have this video that I put out a while ago saying, do not finesse yourself out of your own position. You feel me? I'm going to say it again. Do not finesse yourself out of your own position. Think about that. A lot of times, people or may assume that it's somebody else that's trying to finesse you out of your own position. But a lot of the times, it be your own self blocking you from putting yourself in position. So when I think about that John Moran situation, for him to say what he's saying today, I commend that. You know what I'm saying? Because he's more like, you know what? I know I grew up a certain way. My father was there, lived in a certain type of environment. But that doesn't, just because you grew up in a certain environment doesn't make you that environment. Do you feel? You know? So you got to always remember that. And it's like the biggest thing with me is that when you have that accountability and you look at yourself first before you come at others or have something to say about others, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a real thing, man. You know what I mean? And I mean, how can you hate on that? You know what I'm saying? You really can. You know? So it's like when you look at his situation, the finance, like he said, he's dealing with a few things. And I only can imagine I only could imagine what that money brings to him. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, he's a multimillionaire. So his reality and the average individual reality doesn't match. You know what I'm saying? Because let's face it, the type of money he's seeing or getting or receiving, you only can really dream about. But with that being said, I only can imagine what he has to deal with when it comes to his family members or somebody, looking for him to help them, or they maybe helped him out when he was younger. I only can imagine what that money really bring to you. You know what I'm saying? Because in his interview, he kind of mentioned that where, you know, he became successful, but he played basketball pretty much his whole life, but he never had time to really just focus on himself. So you didn't have time to focus on yourself, then you accrued or received a large amount of money in millions amount. I only can imagine what your mental capacity would be and how you handle things, how you dissect things when you come from humble beginnings and then all of a sudden, bam, you got all the dough. You know what I'm saying? You got all the paper. Everybody looking at you like you the big man on campus. You feel me? Like you the one that's got it going on. You feel me? So I only can imagine what that brings. Because everybody will talk about, man, if I had this and I had that, I would do this. But if you truly had it and you were able to get everything you want, how would you really feel then? Do you feel? You know? So it's like you only can imagine what he's going through. You know what I'm saying? And most people won't get it because you never lived that life. You only could speculate, you know? So it's like, what do you do with that? Like, what would your responsibilities be when you think in that capacity? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you handle that? Because he's only 23 years old and he's multi-millionaire. You know what I'm saying? His lifestyle is totally different than how he grew up. The money he's making, he can pretty much do everything he wants. So when you have that and you don't really know yourself, because that's what he was saying, he's spending time on himself and accountability. He's going through those steps. So when you get all this money, this fame, you know what I'm saying? You're on TV all the time. Everybody know your name. I only can imagine what that energy feel like, huh? So just keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that responsibility comes in at. You know what I'm saying? Because you are responsible for yourself, your actions, how you handle things. Do you feel? You know? So it's like, you got to be conscious of that. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that understanding. Got any comments? Okay. Oh, and shout out to Briani, too. I know. Said we waiting. No, okay. Well, I appreciate you waiting on me to come on because I know it took me a little bit of time to start up my live for some reason. I was having a few issues. So I appreciate you, Brianni. You know what I mean? I do see you. You one of my top, people who always comment on my pages. So, Brianni J, thank you. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I am Sean B. Stoller. Do you feel? you know? But yeah, you just gotta always remember that because you only can imagine what that young man is going through. And the beautiful thing about it, I feel like with that last interview, he's starting to get it. He's starting to get that understanding to the point where he know he has to change, especially if you want to stay in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? We'll have to make some real life adjustments because eventually they'll get you up out of here, man. So it sounds like you're on the right path. He's looking to make some corrections, and I hope he does. You know what I'm saying? Because he a great player, just not when he playing the Warriors. That's my team, man. you know? So he could be great everywhere he goes, just not against my Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel? But now, in all seriousness, you seem like you're a good dude and just going through what he's going through. I'm not here to judge, just make my opinion. I'll hook that up. Yeah, I had this clip I wanted to play, but I got to figure out. I got to read up on a few things. I don't want to play it on here if they're going to give my channel a strike. So I'm gonna read up on a few things, try to get a little bit more understanding of the terms and conditions, excuse me, of YouTube before I post anything like that. So bear with me because my videos, I got a new computer system. I just bought me a Mac Notebook Pro. So I'm working on that, make a few upgrades on my audio, and I got a mix board. So I'm moving on up. As my subscribers go up, I'm willing to invest more money into my channel. So it's got a new MacBook Pro. So uh, got a few other things coming up soon. So I appreciate everybody tapping into my channel and thank you. You know what I mean? Because I do this for you and I do this for myself as well. Do you feel? You know? I'm not gonna be on here too long. I decided to come on here and just drop a little bit of information, and I had to drop something because I haven't put a video out in a couple of days. I'm like, I gotta come live. I gotta drop something on here. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel comfortable if I don't drop a video every couple of days. That's how important it is to me to make sure I constantly put new material out. excuse me, put new material out there. For my subscribers and people who like my content. You know what I'm saying? So just know with Sean B. Stoller, I'm always gonna stay active on my channel, so you can always get something from me. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate the subscribers and people who watch me because it just gives me that much more energy to continue this and continue pushing that line. Do you feel? You know? But yeah, so with the John Morant, he's definitely look like he's trying to figure it out, and I believe he will. We all have our bumps. We all go through our issue. But the thing of it is, as long as you're not putting yourself in a situation where, your life could be taken or you taking someone else's life, if you're able to maintain and continue pushing what you're pushing, I feel like that's a beautiful thing. So I just had a little piece there I just wanted to put out there, and I just want to thank everybody for watching my channel. If you like what I'm kicking, please hit that subscribe button. Also hit that like button. Even if you don't like all my videos, I just need when you watch my video and tap in, go ahead and hit that like button. It does a whole lot of good and positivity for my channel because my videos get a little bit more, recommended. So it's important to get those likes in there. So please hit that like button. Also, if you like what I'm kicking, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Because all I bring to you is nothing but good game, good conversation, good motivation, and hopefully some type of inspiration. You know, I am Sean B. Stola. Until next time.